Hey folks, welcome to Pro Trader Strategies. My name's Eric Wilkinson and this is Spotting the Trade. For you folks that are new to this, make sure you guys are hitting that subscribe button, and right next to it there should be a little bell that you can click on and make sure the indicator says all, because when I come on, sometimes it's unannounced. Yeah, we do schedule it for some time throughout the trading day, but at the end of the day, it's usually when I have the opportunity to come on here and talk about the markets and what I'm seeing in those markets. So we're trying to time that very close to when that opportunity arises. Hopefully, anyway, for you folks. So if that's something you enjoy, please smash that like button before you go, because that will share this information with somebody out there just like you. And throughout the video, folks, comment over there on the side. If you want me to cover a stock, ETF, or future, throw it in the chat window. I will be sure to make sure you folks are on top of this. All right, so before we get going, yesterday we had a bank holiday, a little bit light on the economic data. One of the things, though, that we talked about coming into today was the European industrial production, that coming in better than expected. We've been seeing some of these economic data points out of Europe coming in a little bit lighter, so having this number better than expected, coming in at negative 0.2%, expected to be a negative 0.5%, is something that folks are going to be clamoring about today. PPI, Producer Price Index, showing that we're seeing some inflationary aspects again here showing up. 0.6% expected to be 0.4%. And then finally, we have the JOLTS job openings a little bit later on today, and University of Michigan consumer sentiment. So make sure you folks are paying attention to that. I'm expecting those inflation expectations to start ramping up a little bit here. The consumer sentiment, obviously, considering we've seen some of these other consumer economic data points coming in a little bit lower, NAHB is going to be some of those folks that will show up in this consumer sentiment, because a small business person will be probably somehow added into this phone call, I bet. So keep your eyes out for that moving forward. And then let's get on with the charts here and start talking about the markets. Here we go. We got the bonds up front. We're trying to peel a little bit higher here. Now, I am expecting the bonds to stay right in this 165 area. I do not expect us to see this market move above this Fibonacci right here, which is 167 line in the sand there. I think we'll stay well below that. We probably will be trading right around the mid 60s, though, for interest rates going forward. Like I said, time and time again, yeah, they're going to talk about the asset purchases, which is what keeps these bonds a little bit higher and suppressing interest rates. Going forward, I think that they are going to continue that. They might slow down, but folks, they are buying so many assets or so many bonds that the pullbacks that they're talking about on these asset purchases is going to be like a drop of water in a big bucket. It's not going to make much of a difference, but maybe a little ripple. All right. So I think that we're going to continue to see interest rates low. The economic data coming out is a little bit suspect, other than Sundial. If you guys remember, a long time ago, I put Sundial into my portfolio for my IRA. Came out with earnings today and are making some moves to the upside there. Gold back up above this Fibonacci right here that lines up that we've been talking about, the 1850. And now we're above that. I thought we would probably see a little bit more resistance there, but the market peeling above that. That's indicating we're looking at some inflation, folks, that may not be transitory. The Fed's been talking about transitory inflation. I've been talking about it's going to be longer than that, and that's going to handcuff the Fed, because what we're going to see is a little bit of inflation, but a stagnant economy. And that's kind of the paradigm we're in right now. And that puts the Fed in a corner, because they want to raise interest rates because of that higher inflationary aspect of the economy, but they don't want to raise interest rates to slow down the performance of the economy. And that will also be a byproduct of raising interest rates. So they want to stay away from that. So they're really handcuffed right now. They can't do anything. So that's why I'm talking about with the bonds so much, that I don't think they're going to go anywhere. They're not going to push the interest rate lower, but they aren't really going to let that interest rate run higher a whole lot. All right, gold showing some inflationary pressures there. One of the things I did want to look at was crude oil here, and I don't know where my crude oil chart went, so I'll pull it up here. Continuing to see some weakness here in crude oil. Lack of demand through the manufacturing sector is going to be the thing you're going to be looking for. It's not folks driving on the interstate, all right? It's really going to be watching those manufacturing numbers. That's where the majority of the demand comes from. Bitcoin, a little bit of weakness here, but I think we're going to continue to see strength in Bitcoin and Ether going forward. VIX is coming off. We're getting a little bit of a push to the upside. I do not think we're going to make a move to those all-time highs, despite the fact that, yeah, we are seeing pretty good earnings coming out across the board. One of the ones that we were talking about was Sanddial. I'll get to that here in a second, but a little bit of strength heading into the Friday that we've got here, bottoming maybe yesterday. You can see here in the E-mini S&Ps. That's what I wanted to show you guys. One of these I found a new platform that's pretty cool. So this candlestick is showing that we've got a black body confirmation for the most part during last blah, blah, blah. But one of the things I want you to know is pretty cool that you can move this. Hopefully I can move it now that I'm on it. Can I move this over here? Why aren't you wanting to move for me? Okay, I guess like a good lawyer, I shouldn't have done this without asking, let me try this. Go to create inner advisor, commentary. Let's do that and see if I can move it again. I was able to move it. That's what I wanted to show you guys. Remember, I've talked about this time and time again, where we're looking for candles that look like this. And that's indicative of a topping pattern. And I've talked about it as being a spinning top. And I've forgotten a lot of this stuff over the years. There was a point in time where I wanted to try and memorize all of the different combinations of candles and stuff like that. Well, at the end of the day, I remember some of the major ones. All right. So, but this is one of the good ones that we need to look for. And when we get down here is the rising windows ahead of it. These three white candles here. They're the green candles for a positive move. What we're looking at here is a very bullish setup. Now, the third day, we got a kind of a wet blanket on those three soldiers, but then we got the spinning top and the confirmation. And if you read through this, it really kind of follows along with what I've been trying to talk with you folks about, with looking for these setups in the swing trade webinars. So please check those out, because literally I'm kind of talking about this. I wish I had this platform when I was trading the swing videos, because this is really cool that we could have pulled something like this up to have the script about that whole setup I was talking about. So anyway, pretty cool little platform here. It is called Metastock. I haven't really traded on this platform, but they have a really cool platform. Not only this, they have a couple of other things where it's very newsworthy for Windows. Pretty cool. Check it out. Let me know what your thoughts are on this platform. Maybe I'll start using this, because I think this is a pretty cool little thing here. And because it really follows along with that candlestick theory. So I wanted to share that with you folks. It's a pretty cool one. I'm going to be playing around with that one on the TLT trade. I am trying to add. Remember, we talked about this TLT trade. We got some high implied volatility. I don't think that bonds are going to go higher. We talked about all those levers and pulleys yesterday. So I'm looking at selling some calls against my bond portfolio in my overall portfolio. So when I look at hedging, I'm going to be looking at my IRA, my 401k, and those are going to have bonds in them, folks. So what we're trying to do is hedge against rising interest rates by selling some covered calls. And I'm going into the detail in a couple of webinars coming up. So make sure you guys check those out. All right, we can see pretty quiet overnight, but really following along this trend channel that is acting as resistance right now. TLT, this is that trade I was looking at with the other platform, and you can see we've got our spinning top doji. I filled in these candles. These are the three white soldiers, they call them, and it's a very bullish pattern. Had we gotten another gap like this consistently higher, that would have made that look really good, like that candlestick setup. But broke down a little bit. Here we got the spinning top with the confirmation of the dark red candle here. That's the confirmation I've talked about many times in those swing trades. So looking to sell some covered calls against this. Kroger, again, implied volatility came out so fast yesterday during the day session, pinning right here at this point of control. Remember, I was trying to sell a strangle around this. It was the 60-65 strangle in there. Well, volatility coming out made those premiums contract before I ever had the opportunity to get it on. So does not look like I'm going to be able to get this strangle on. I'm going to play around with it. Maybe if we get a spike in volatility throughout the day, I'll get hit on it, but I'm just going to continue to work that order at the 60-65 strangle. 130 is my price that I'm trying to get out at, or trying to enter a position in. And then the only reason why I wanted to talk about Rivian is Elon Musk came out today bashing the company with their truck and everything else because their valuation, and they haven't really even sold anything. Well, Elon, wake up call, nor have you compared to the rest of these folks. Well, they surpassed GM, and we're going to start hearing them talk about passing Toyota probably pretty soon, and the rest of the crew. So it is shaping up to be a great battle between Elon Musk, or Tesla, and Rivian. I think Rivian's truck's a little bit cooler than Tesla's, in my humble opinion. And then Kroger, again, kind of breaking it down to this daily chart where it's kind of pinning there. But you can see yesterday just lost the entire volatility coming out of that underlying. So not looking too great on that type of strangle. That's what we're looking at there for that. All right, that's it, folks. If you had anything to take away from this, a light bulb moment, maybe even, please smash that like button for me. Feed those bots to run out there and share this content with somebody that looks just like you that might be looking for something like this. And please subscribe, hit the bell so that you guys know that I'm popping in unannounced sometimes, and you'll be able to participate in this video. All right, so without further ado, comment, all that jazz. Love to hear from you folks. And finally, if you can't take that, take it easy and have a great weekend. Bye for now.